Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, thoughts running endlessly through your mind, yet when morning comes, you can't quite remember what worried you? Or maybe during the day, you feel overwhelmed by small things, forgetting names, misplacing items, and wondering if it's all just part of getting older? What if I told you there's one simple, gentle habit that can help clear your mind, sharpen your memory, and even lift your mood, all in just a few minutes each day? Today, I invite you to explore with me why keeping a journal after the age of 65 can be one of the most powerful tools for both your memory and your emotional well-being. And believe me, this isn't about writing long essays or perfect sentences. It's about creating a space where your thoughts can breathe, your memories can be anchored, and your heart can feel lighter. You see, as we age, it's completely normal for memory to change. But did you know that writing things down can actually strengthen your brain's ability to remember? The simple act of putting pen to paper, or even typing in a document, activates areas of the brain that help with memory recall, organization, and emotional regulation. It's like giving your brain a daily workout without ever leaving your chair. But journaling isn't just about memory. It's also a powerful tool to support your mood. According to Dr. Elizabeth Monroe, a gerontologist and mental health expert, daily journaling can reduce stress levels, improve focus, and even help combat feelings of loneliness. When you write, you give yourself the chance to process your thoughts, reflect on your day, and find clarity in the chaos. Let me share the story of Mary, 70, from North Carolina. Mary started journaling after she retired, at first just jotting down a few notes about her day. Over time, she noticed that writing helped her untangle worries and appreciate small moments. She began to sleep better and felt more connected to her family because she could express herself more clearly. Her memory also improved. She found herself remembering names, dates, and details that used to slip away. So why is journaling so impactful? Let's dive into the first key benefit. It helps improve short-term memory. You might think that short-term memory just fades naturally with age, and to some extent, it does, but the brain has an incredible ability to adapt. Writing down what you want to remember, appointments, names, conversations, doesn't just serve as a reminder. It also strengthens neural pathways that help retain that information. For example, when you write about a conversation you had earlier in the day, your brain processes it a second time, reinforcing the details. This double-layer processing helps store the memory more securely. The second benefit, journaling helps reduce mental clutter. As we grow older, it's easy to feel mentally crowded. You might have concerns about health, family, finances, or even small daily tasks. Writing those thoughts down gives them a place to live outside of your head. Dr. Monroe explains that this process frees up cognitive space, allowing your brain to focus on more important tasks and reducing feelings of overwhelm. Let's take the example of George, 68, from Texas. He described his mind as a messy attic, full of thoughts but hard to navigate. Once he began writing every morning for just 10 minutes, he noticed he could think more clearly throughout the day. His focus improved, and he stopped feeling so scattered. The third benefit, journaling can help process emotions and reduce anxiety. Many older adults experience anxiety, especially during times of change, retirement, health challenges, or the loss of loved ones. Writing about these feelings in a safe, private space can help release emotional tension. Studies show that people who journal regularly report lower levels of anxiety and better mood regulation. Mary shared that after writing down her fears and worries, she often felt a sense of release, as if the burden was lighter. Over time, her journal became a trusted friend, a place where she could be honest without judgment. These are just the first 3 powerful reasons why journaling can transform your memory and emotional health after 65. But there's so much more to explore. In the next part, I'll share additional benefits and show you simple ways to get started, even if you've never kept a journal before. So stay with me, because what's coming next can make journaling not just a habit, but one of the most rewarding parts of your day. Continuing from where we left off, let's now explore more wonderful benefits of journaling after 65 and talk about simple ways to begin this habit, even if you've never kept a journal before. The fourth benefit, journaling can improve problem-solving skills. As we get older, decision-making can sometimes feel more overwhelming. Writing about challenges or questions in a journal allows the brain to slow down, see the problem more clearly, and often discover solutions that may not appear when thoughts are just bouncing around in your head. Dr. Peter Reynolds, a senior cognitive therapist, explains that writing helps shift concerns from abstract to concrete. Once you see your thoughts on paper, they become more manageable. Take Helen, 72, from Oregon. She found herself worrying about her finances after retirement. Instead of sitting with anxiety, she began writing down her concerns and breaking them into smaller, actionable steps. Over time, this practice helped her make more confident decisions, and her stress levels dropped. The fifth benefit: journaling strengthens long-term memory. When you write about meaningful moments, a conversation with a grandchild, a lovely dinner, a walk in the park, you are effectively reinforcing those memories. The act of writing helps the brain encode these experiences more deeply. Later, reading back on past entries can trigger vivid recollections that might have otherwise faded. George from Texas often flips through his old journals and is amazed at how clearly he can remember events from years past. He says it feels like traveling through time, and it brings him immense joy. The sixth benefit: journaling boosts gratitude and positivity. Gratitude journaling is a simple practice where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. According to Dr. Monroe, this practice helps train the brain to focus on the positive, counteracting the natural tendency to dwell on worries or negativity. Margaret, 67, from Maine, began her gratitude journal after losing her husband. Each night, she wrote down simple blessings: a kind neighbor's visit, her favorite cup of tea, the beauty of the sunset. This daily practice helped her slowly heal and rediscover happiness in small moments. Another technique that can be incredibly helpful is reflective journaling. This involves writing not just about what happened, but also about how it made you feel and what you learned from it. Dr. Susan Blake, a psychologist specializing in aging, suggests that reflective journaling helps seniors process experiences more deeply, making it easier to adapt to changes and find meaning in everyday life. For example, John, 70, from New York, started writing reflections on his daily walks. He would jot down observations about nature, how certain weather patterns made him feel, and what memories they triggered. Over time, these reflections helped him feel more connected to his surroundings and more at peace. Then there's goal-oriented journaling. Setting small, daily goals and writing about progress can be incredibly motivating. It keeps the brain focused and gives a sense of accomplishment. Linda, from Florida, uses her journal to set weekly goals. Simple things like calling an old friend, trying a new recipe, or reading a new book. Writing about her progress helps her stay motivated and provides gentle encouragement. If you're wondering how to start journaling, don't worry. It's easier than you think. Begin with small steps. Set aside just 5 minutes each morning or evening. Use a simple notebook or even loose sheets of paper. Write whatever comes to mind. There's no right or wrong. Start with prompts like, "What made me smile today?" or "What am I grateful for right now?" or simply "What's on my mind?" The key is consistency, not perfection. You can also try gratitude lists, daily reflections, or even creative writing exercises. The more you personalize your journaling practice, the more it becomes a joyful part of your life. In the next part, we'll dive into specific journaling techniques and styles, so you can discover what works best for you. Stay with me. The journey is just getting more exciting. Continuing from where we left off, let's now dive deeper into specific journaling techniques and styles, so you can find the approach that feels most natural and enjoyable for you. One technique many people over 65 find helpful is stream of consciousness journaling. This method involves writing whatever comes to mind without worrying about grammar, structure, or logic. Dr. Hannah Bell, a cognitive wellness expert, explains that this technique allows the subconscious mind to surface, often revealing thoughts or patterns we didn't even know were there. Take Robert, 74, from Chicago. Each morning, he sits with his coffee and writes freely for 10 minutes. Sometimes he writes about dreams, sometimes about plans, and other times just random thoughts. He says this practice has not only helped him process emotions, but also sparked creativity he thought he'd lost. Another powerful technique is list journaling. On days when writing full paragraphs feels like too much, simply creating lists can be just as effective. Lists of books to read, favorite memories, places to visit, or things that bring joy can all stimulate the mind. Let me share the story of Joan, 68, from Arizona. She started keeping a list journal where each day she writes 3 small victories or joys. Over time, she discovered that even on tough days, there was always something positive to note. This habit reshaped her perspective on life. Then there's letter writing as a journaling style. Writing letters, whether to loved ones, to your past self, or even to the future, can be a beautiful way to process emotions and preserve memories. Dr. Bell notes that writing letters provides closure and deep reflection, especially during transitions or times of loss. Mary, from Vermont, often writes letters to her late husband in her journal. She finds this helps her feel connected and gives her comfort on days when she misses him most. For those who enjoy creativity, visual journaling might be the way to go. This can involve sketching, using colors, adding photographs, or even collage work alongside writing. Creative expression stimulates different areas of the brain and can make journaling feel like play rather than a task. James, 70, from Seattle, wasn't sure journaling was for him until he tried adding simple sketches to his entries. Now, his journal is filled with small illustrations and observations that make him smile every time he flips through the pages. Another practice to consider is evening reflection journaling. While morning journaling helps set intentions, evening journaling allows you to review the day, process events, and prepare your mind for restful sleep. Dr. Bell emphasizes that reflecting before bed helps the brain store information more efficiently and reduces nighttime anxiety. Finally, many find value in keeping a memory journal, a dedicated space where you record stories from your life. This can be an amazing gift not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. Susan, 72, from Boston, began writing down stories from her childhood and early marriage. Her grandchildren love reading them, and she feels joy knowing these memories will live on. In the next part, we'll talk about how to overcome common obstacles that might keep you from journaling regularly, and I'll share simple tips to make journaling a sustainable, rewarding habit. Stay with me. We're about to make this even more personal and practical. Continuing from where we left off, let's now talk about how to overcome common obstacles that might keep you from journaling regularly, and how to make it a sustainable, rewarding part of your life. One of the biggest challenges is the fear of not knowing what to write. Many people hesitate, feeling their thoughts aren't interesting or that their writing isn't good enough. Dr. Hannah Bell reassures that journaling is a personal space with no rules or expectations. It's not about writing perfectly. It's about expressing yourself honestly. Let's take the example of Peter, 69, from Minnesota. He avoided journaling for years, thinking he wasn't a good writer. But once he allowed himself to write in short, simple sentences and focus on feelings rather than form, he found comfort and clarity he didn't expect. Another obstacle is consistency. Life can get busy, and it's easy to skip journaling. The key is to create small rituals around writing. Maybe it's after your morning coffee or before bed. Set reminders and keep your journal in a visible, inviting place. Margaret, 70, from Virginia, placed her journal and pen on her bedside table. This simple step reminded her every night to take just 5 minutes to jot down a few thoughts. Over time, those 5 minutes became something she looked forward to. Some also worry that journaling might stir up difficult emotions. While that's possible, writing also helps process those feelings and bring relief. If something feels heavy, Dr. Bell suggests writing without judgment and then shifting to a positive reflection or gratitude note. Linda, 66, from California, shared that some evenings she poured out her worries on paper and ended each entry by writing down 3 good things that happened that day. This balanced approach helped her face emotions without feeling overwhelmed. It's also important to avoid perfectionism. Your journal is your private space. No one needs to read it. Allow spelling mistakes, messy handwriting, or incomplete thoughts. The goal is expression, not perfection. James, 71, from Ohio, laughs about how some of his journal pages are just scribbles and arrows connecting ideas. But he treasures those pages because they capture his genuine, unfiltered mind. If boredom ever sets in, Switch things up. Try different styles. Maybe one day you make lists, another day you write a letter, or perhaps draw a small picture. Adding variety keeps the practice fresh. Dr. Bell also recommends setting gentle milestones, like writing 3 times a week instead of daily, if that feels more achievable. Progress is more important than frequency. Finally, sharing the habit with someone can help. Find a friend or family member who journals too, and occasionally discuss what you've learned or discovered. This adds encouragement and inspiration. Susan from Boston started a monthly tea time with a friend where they both shared excerpts from their journals, only what they felt comfortable sharing. These moments deepened their friendship and made journaling feel like a shared adventure. In the next part, we'll bring everything together, showing how journaling not only supports your memory and emotional well-being, but becomes a treasured legacy for your family. Stay with me. We're coming to the most meaningful part of this journey. Continuing from where we left off, let's now bring everything together and explore how journaling can become not only a daily practice for memory and emotional health, but also a beautiful legacy for your family. Journaling, over time, transforms into a treasure trove of stories, reflections, and life lessons. Dr. Hannah Bell highlights that our journals can become gifts to future generations, a window into your heart, your wisdom, and experiences that shaped you. Take Emily, 73, from Colorado. She began journaling simple daily reflections about her garden, her favorite recipes, and childhood memories. Over time, her grandchildren started asking her to read from her journals. These moments became family traditions, sparking conversations and laughter that deepened their bond. If you're worried about privacy, remember that you can choose what to share. Some people keep private journals and separate those meant to pass down. Either way, your words can become part of your family's history. Another wonderful way to leave a legacy is by writing letters within your journal. Letters to your children, your grandchildren, or even to your younger self. These heartfelt messages carry wisdom, comfort, and encouragement. When your family reads them someday, they'll feel your presence and love. Tom, 75, from New York, writes monthly letters to each of his grandchildren in his journal. He plans to gift these letters to them on their milestone birthdays. He says it gives him joy knowing they will always have his words with them. Journaling also helps you reflect on life lessons. Writing about challenges you faced and how you overcame them can become a guidebook for your family. Dr. Bell suggests that writing about both triumphs and setbacks makes your story relatable and real. Margaret from Virginia dedicated a section in her journal to life lessons, small notes on patience, kindness, and resilience. Her family treasures these pages as pearls of wisdom. Don't underestimate the joy of rereading your own journal entries. Over time, they become reminders of how far you've come. Reconnecting with past thoughts can bring clarity and gratitude. For those who love creativity, consider adding photos, drawings, or mementos to your journal. These touches make your journal a vibrant keepsake. Joan, from Arizona, decorates her journal with pressed flowers from her garden, making each page visually meaningful. Finally, journaling reinforces your identity and purpose. It's a place where you can reflect on who you are, what matters to you, and how you wish to be remembered. Dr. Bell emphasizes that this clarity brings peace and confidence in your later years. In the final part, we'll gently summarize everything, inspire you to take the first step, if you haven't already, and invite you to share your journey with us. Stay with me. Your story matters, and it's time to begin writing it. Continuing from where we left off, let's now move into the final, most personal part of this journey, turning journaling into a lifelong companion and source of inspiration. As you nurture this habit, you'll start to notice small yet profound changes. Dr. Hannah Bell emphasizes that journaling helps align your thoughts, offering both mental clarity and emotional comfort. Over time, it becomes more than just writing. It becomes a conversation with yourself, a moment of peace in each day. Let me tell you about Richard, 76, from Washington. At first, he struggled to make journaling a routine. But once he committed to writing just a few lines each morning with his tea, he found those moments of quiet reflection became the most valuable part of his day. He describes it as having a friendly chat with his own heart. Another beautiful aspect is watching your confidence grow. Writing helps you trust your voice, your thoughts, and your memories. You'll start to feel more sure of yourself when you speak or share stories with others. And remember, it's okay to evolve your journaling style. Some days, you might write long reflections. Other days, a simple list or a small sketch is enough. The important thing is showing up for yourself, giving your mind and heart that space. You might also consider creating themed journals, one for gratitude, another for memories, and perhaps one just for dreams and ideas. Each can serve a different purpose and bring joy in its own way. For those who love storytelling, why not dedicate a journal to your life stories? Write about your childhood, family traditions, and the lessons you've learned. Your family will cherish these stories long after. And here's something truly special. As you continue journaling, you'll start to notice patterns. What lifts your mood, what drains your energy, and what brings you comfort. This self-awareness is a gift that journaling quietly gives. As we wrap up this journey, let's gently recap. We've explored how journaling strengthens memory, eases anxiety, sparks creativity, and builds a precious legacy. You've seen how simple it can be, how personal it can feel, and how impactful it can become. If you haven't started yet, I invite you to begin today. Just one page, one thought, or one small gratitude note. You deserve this gift of self-care and reflection. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried journaling? What have you discovered through writing? Or, if you're just starting, what excites you most about this journey? Please share your feelings and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel so we can continue learning and growing together. Thank you for being here, for taking this time for yourself, and for allowing me to be part of your journey. Until next time, take care of yourself and happy journaling.